reading from Deuteronomy was coming up, I've really been thinking all week, reflecting on this phrase of choosing life. Choosing life. And then you hear this gospel, and it's just like cold water. Lord, just thrown on you, cold water. I mean, hate your father and your mother, your wife and your children. Like, what are you talking about, Jesus? Because clearly, he can't mean that, right? I mean, I categorize this under the Middle Eastern hyperbole kind of talk. The kind of, like you're talking about a gnat, but you label it as a camel. That kind of like big talk, hating your father and your mother. Still, he doesn't say these things for no reason. It's Jesus saying it. So you have to what is he talking about? What's he trying to get at here? My mind goes to Annie Lamott. If anyone read anything of Annie Lamott, she kind of has this black humor, a dark humor, not black, but dark humor. But I like it. When her son Sam was born, she began writing. Her writing switched over to writing about parenting, really, and this whole life of raising this child. Because anyone who's had children, that when your child is born, that they become the center of your universe. They carry your heart, they carry your dreams, they carry everything. Everything. You would give your life in a heartbeat for your child. And so it's very easy for that child to become the center around which you revolve. And Annie writes about this. And she writes about, she came to faith, she came to Jesus. And she writes about how it is a misplacing of your focus if your child is at the center. It's not only it's a misplacing of your focus, but it does not do your child good. Because your child then begins to carry, the weight and the burden of your happiness, of your peace, right? Of your okayness in the world. And nobody, not your child, not your husband, not your wife, no one can carry that burden of being your happiness. It's not fair to that person. And so Annie writes about how, keeping God at the center, and then these relationships fall out to the appropriate place in your life, and they're healthier. Then you have healthy family relationships and healthy relationships with your children and your spouse and all of that. But it is hard to do because it means, like Moses talks about, it means making some hard choices sometimes. Choosing life is not always like the easy choice. Your child wants a phone. Long before they can handle total access to everything. And saying no to the phone is not easy, right? It's long before the phone, it's like setting the table or something like a chore. It's so much easier to do the chore yourself. Just do it. Get it done. But that shortchanges the learning for your child, right? It shortchanges all of that. So the easy choices are not always the choice of life and the right choice. Choosing life the way that Moses has laid it out for us, for yourself, for your children, for your family, for your community, it's not always the easy choice. I mean, choosing life for our community, it actually means paying taxes. Maybe not too many taxes, but it does mean paying taxes because those taxes pave our streets, make sure that we have public health. So the easy choice is not always the right choice, the choice of life. Now, these people that Moses is talking to now, they've been through a lot. They have been through a lot, and they've had a lot of choice makings along the way. They have been chased by an army into the sea. They have had poisonous snakes in their camp biting them and biting their children, and some of them dying from this. They've gone without food and without water. They've been in, camps, setting up, taking out in camp. Can you imagine that? For 40 years, raising your kids that way? They have elected to follow a leader who told them to give them all their gold, their jewelry, their family inheritance, and they did it. And he took all of that and he melted it down and made it into a little calf and told them, here, worship this. And they did that too. That can be their focus, right? On all these horrific things that they have been through. But there's also something else that's happened with them. Chased by the army into the sea. And then, lo and behold, God provides a way for them through that sea. Takes care of their enemies, brings them out into freedom. They're hungry, they're thirsty, and lo and behold, bread falls from the sky. Like innumerable quail headed into their camp, and they have enough, more than enough to eat. Now the choice is, they can't hoard it. They can't take more than they need for that day, because it just goes bad. So they have to choose to trust God for the next day. While they're busy giving all their gold to this false leader, Moses is up on the mountain giving the words of life. And he brings them down, these words of life, what we know as the Ten Commandments. All of these things, they can, when they're camping out in the desert, they've been wandering for 40 years in the desert, they can choose to focus on the wandering, or they can choose to focus on the fact that God led them with a pillar, with a smoke during the day, cloud during the day, pillar of fire at night. They can choose where to put their focus, right? Which story are they going to tell themselves and their children? Are they going to tell themselves the story of disaster and adversity? Or are they going to tell the story of salvation and redemption and prosperity? And that choice is always before us too. We're always narrating to ourselves, always narrating the story of our lives. Telling ourselves what our life is about, what the life of our community is about, what the life of our nation is about. And it is so easy to focus on the fearful and on the disastrous. And it's harder to focus, right, on the miraculous, on the redemptive, and the prosperous. When these snakes are in the camp biting the people, you know what the remedy is? The remedy is this pull of life. And the trick is they have to lift their eyes, they have to stop looking at the snakes and lift their eyes up and look in faith to what's basically the cross of life. That's a choice that is always in front of us. Always in front of us. A choice to lift our eyes, take our eyes off of the things that we fear, and lift our eyes in faith to the future. So Moses says, okay, you're going into this new land. You have a new in front of you. Every day is new. Always in front of us. Choose. Choose wisely. Choose life. Choose prosperity. Choose maybe the harder path, but the path that leads to life. And when you make a mistake, which we all do, and which these people did repeatedly, over and over and over again, when we make mistakes, know that God, in fact, has chosen for us. God has chosen for us and provided a way for us to begin again and again and again. So there's always this opportunity that we have, always, in every minute, to change our focus and to look with faith into the path of life. May God grant us the peace and the courage and the wisdom to choose life. Amen.